So today I'd like to interview Professor Michael PEVZNER, who is the director of the new research laboratory, French-Japanese laboratory of mathematics and its interactions, and also visiting professors of the University of Tokyo.
Yes, thank you very much.
So let's start. So can you tell me about your background, your professional background?
I am a professor at the university in Reims, in France, for now almost 20 years. But I was graduated in Moscow, in former Soviet Union, and then since that I traveled a lot. I studied in France, in Paris, and I got my PhD from Paris 6 University at that time, which is now called Université Sorbonne, and where I worked under the supervision of Professor Farrell. And meanwhile, I traveled in different places and meet a lot of colleagues and professors during my several postdoc positions. And now, since almost 1 year, I am enjoying the very nice atmosphere here in Tokyo.
So, what motivated you to pursue mathematics?
But this is a very complicated question because it was not a Markov process, so it was many different causes. When I was a high school student, I was interested in many topics and many disciplines. I grew up in a family where sciences were quite respected, and particularly mathematics. And just for a small anecdote, I was subscribed by some research journal for children even before my birth. So somehow I was initiated to mathematics and physics from very early ages, and I was always interested in why things work. Not how do they work, but why do they work. And I think this is the very sense of the Greek word mathematikon. So if I think in the Aristotle's academia, there are different types of students. Those who are attending lectures, just listening to lectures in order to understand how things work, they were called acoustikon, so those who are listening, and another who were trying to understand why things happen, so those were called mathematikon. So I was interested in these non-practical aspects of things, and in some sense contradictory way, I used at least to perceive mathematics as a kind of mystery, and was attracted by this mystery. And it's just in conjunction of these different contradictory points of view progressively led me to mathematics. It was not kind of plan, but just the circumstances, and progressively, step by step, I was attracted to mathematics.
So it's impressive that before you were born, there's already quant that your father bought, and then then you start reading by yourself. I started looking at these journals from quite early, so it was extremely successful project, this journal. So this journal influenced several generations of scientists in the former Soviet Union, even abroad. Every month, I used to receive this in my mailbox, this journal with my personal name, and I was looking in some general articles, some problems, some expository papers. So always it was, I used to find some interesting things. This journal was very, as I said, very well organized, and they had a section for small children, junior high school students, senior high school students, so different levels.
In one journal?
In one journal, so depending on the pages, and always one was able to find some interesting things. And there were some general presentations about mathematics and physics, and till now I remember very well some of these articles that really impressed me and influenced me.
I see.
Yes. And I think it was a general atmosphere more or less everywhere in the world in the 70s, and where there were a lot of enthusiasm about sciences, about mathematics and physics. It was extremely popular, and so I think I feel lucky to have grown up in this atmosphere.
I see, I see. And then you entered Moscow State University.
Yes.
How did you spend your time during your student time?
Retrospectively, I feel extremely lucky because I had the opportunity to meet incredibly generous and genius people during this period, among professors and students, and so it was a wonderful period. So I will say I just was diving in this atmosphere of studying mathematics. It was the whole my life was there. So I had some regular classes, seminars, discussions with students, and so it was really a very particular atmosphere.
And then you studied by yourself or with your friends, or how you study? I mean, the starting point.
So the curriculum at the university was very well organized, in a very conservative way, I will say, but it's not bad at some point. We had a lot of teaching hours, so everything were done progressively and slowly. So we had a lot of time to work with professors in seminars and lectures, but also I worked mainly by myself and library, and every week we had research seminars, and then we had the opportunity to discuss with other students and supervisors. So everything was very well balanced between some compulsory things and more exploratory ones and individual work. So all aspects were present.
I see. So you studied first in Moscow State University, and then later you got a PhD in Paris.
Yes.
And then you worked as a postdoc in the Netherlands, Bldg, and Italy,
Yes.
and then got a permanent job in France.
Exactly. Yes.
Then how do you think the research environment, the University of Tokyo, compares to other places that you worked?
So again, it's very personal impression,
Yes.
of course, but I find it's wonderful because the general atmosphere is very fruitful. There are very variety of activities, varieties of topics. Very nice, maybe one of the best libraries I ever seen in my life, and wonderful colleagues that may talk and work with. So in this sense, I appreciate very much and enjoy every day.
And also you are learning some Japanese now, I guess?
I do, but it's more difficult than... I don't know. In some sense, there's, at least for me, a kind of similarity between mathematics and Japanese. Because both from very far, from very beginning, looked very mysterious to me. But Japanese still more mysterious mathematics. But I like very much exploring things, and studying Japanese is a kind of exploring adventure. So every day is one step further, and so this is what I appreciate very much.
I see. Okay. So, so the last year that a new research laboratory was established, that is French-Japanese Laboratory of Mathematics and its interactions. Can you tell me about that laboratory that you are now the director?
So since almost 30 years, the French National Research Center, the CNRS, which is a very unique, quite unique institution in worldwide, started developing international cooperation through a very original system by establishing kind of representative institutions or institutes abroad. So the idea is to gather researchers from different countries working on joint projects and transferring knowledge and creating some stimulating interactions. And particularly in mathematics, such type of cooperation is very fruitful. So the ideas are spreading very quickly. And the CNRS established more than 10 such international institutes with joint projects with foreign universities. And the purpose, as I said, is to propose to French researchers to spend non-trivial time abroad, spread their ideas, and collaborate in a slow way and continuous way with colleagues abroad. And there's historically a very well organized and very rich network of cooperation in mathematics between France and Japan. And progressively people became convinced that it will be a good time to set such a joint institute in mathematics in Japan, and the University of Tokyo supported this initiative and CNRS as well. So this institute was created last year, and we are very happy that activities are growing progressively, and I hope many other nice activities will come soon, particularly for targeting younger researchers and PhD students, etc.
So you have a future program to invite more younger generations from France?
Both. So of course we would like to invest in the future and support as much as we can joint PhD supervisions as they create really long-term, long-standing cooperations. But also we would like to invite regularly to Japan famous French mathematicians and to promote this very, very particular French-Japanese cooperation in mathematics.
Yeah. So this new laboratory continues long traditions, but in an enhanced way and in a systematic way. And this is what you are saying.
Exactly, yes.
Yeah. That's a wonderful project.
Yes, so I am very enthusiastic about this. So we started from the scratch, and this is the very motivating.
Yes.
And I hope it will be a very fruitful project.
Yeah. Okay, so I think this is what I wanted to ask. So, so today I'd like to thank you very much for interview.
It's a pleasure. It's mine. So thank you very much. Yeah.